I'm Dawnn Lewis, and I'm asking you, I am imploring you, I'm letting you know you're going to miss something good if you're not watching Deloris on Flashback tonight.
From beautiful North Hollywood, California, it's Flashback Tonight, starring Deloris. Tonight's guest has kept us laughing in hit series like A Different World and Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Dawnn Lewis is here.
So much.
My pleasure. I like that song.
I'll tell you, you should like that song. She should like that song because she wrote that song, y'all. Now, speaking of that, how is it that you come to write the theme song for a show that you're not even cast in, and then turn around and get the call to be cast in the show?
I actually got the call the same afternoon within an hour of each other. Prior to showing up on A Different World, I was a recording artist, so singing and composing and doing jingles, and I had a record out. It was on Billboard, and the person who's the musical director for the Cosby Show had my demo tape. Remember cassette tapes? I had a demo tape, and he said, "Are you the same woman that wrote these songs and is singing these songs?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I want you to work with me on the theme song for this new TV series." I said, "Okay." But about an hour before he called me, the casting directors for the Cosby Show also cast A Different World, and they happened to have cast the Broadway show I was presently doing, a show called The Tap Dance Kid. Anyone know who the actor Dule Hill is?
Yes, he's a friend of mine.
Okay, Dule was our kid. So I've known Dule since he was 10 years old.
We were on the road
from Psych and West Wing, and now he's doing Ballers. And there you go. So that's my little brother. So I begged them, please let me audition, and they said no. For 3 months, they said no. Then they finally called me back and said, "Do you still want to audition?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, can you be here tomorrow at 4?" I said, "Yeah." An hour later, the musical director called me, asked me about writing the theme song. I thought it was my friends playing a joke on me because I was down to my last unemployment check. I said, "Well, this ain't funny, y'all. This ain't funny."
Right.
And so, long story short, I auditioned. That was on a Wednesday. I auditioned Thursday. They said, "Thank you very much. Goodbye." I said, "Okay." On Friday, I was in the recording studio. He played me some music. He said, "So well, let me hear what you came up with." I sang him those lyrics with that melody. And he said, "This is the bomb." I said, "Great." The following week, on a Monday, I said, "We have a call back. We want you to come back and audition now. We've narrowed it down." And I kid you not, I walked in the room and I was the only person I didn't recognize. I saw fashion models, TV stars, everybody who was this big with long hair and green eyes. I said, and me. And so the flip side was 2 days later, I was flown back and forth to LA. I auditioned. I came back. They said, "Okay, Mr. Cosby has the final word." And I'm sitting with him in his dressing room, and they start talking about the theme song.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were in his dressing room?
It was myself, Mr. Cosby, Marcy Carsey, Tom Warner,
and Harvey
Julie
Weinstein.
Hughes, and Barry Wall.
I'm sorry. Come on. I can't let that go.
No, but you can.
Okay.
But you can. So he had the final word. So they said, "Well, before you say anything, Bill, what did you think of the theme song?" And they started talking about the girl's voice. "Oh, she's fantastic, and the lyrics are just what we wanted, and we love it. It's fat." And I'm sitting there, and I raised my hand. They said, "Yes," and I just want to say thank you. They said, "For what?" I said, "I'm glad you like the song." They said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm the girl. I'm the one." So clearly, until that moment, they had no idea I was the same person they had hired to be in the show as they had hired to write the theme song.
That is amazing. And that's like a trifecta. Anyone who knows a part of the music industry that knows that writing is where it is. You wrote a theme song for a show that went on for how many years?
6 years, but 30 years later.
They're still playing it.
Still playing it. There has not been one day of 1 week of 1 year since 1987 that show has not been on at least multiple times a day around the planet. So that's a blessing. That's God.
Dawnn got Hey. You went into that show above every other cast member because you wrote the theme song. You're like,
Yeah,
hey,
well-
I feel like I need to help you get up on this still.
No,
You
I'm
sure?
good. I'm good. No, you have a very tall stool and I have a very short skirt.
Okay.
And you didn't pay extra for that. That's extra.
Accounting.
That's extra.
Accounting? Where's the
Accounting.
accounting department?
So today you get long legs and
That's all
poses.
right.
There we
Give
go.
it
There
to
we
him.
go. There we
Give
go.
it to him. Now, also back to the theme song, Aretha
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
How does it feel to have Aretha Franklin record your
You know
song?
what? The whole metamorphosis of the theme song, first it was me, and then when they decided, well, you're in the show, you can't sing it, it became Al Green. So I'm in the studio teaching Al Green, no, Al, my song goes like this. He's amazing. Al Green is everybody's hero. I don't care
Yes.
who you are, what age, what color, what gender,
Let me
nothing.
say,
I know. It's a different world.
Right?
It was like, oh,
imagine.
yes, it was great. And singing backgrounds was myself, Lynn Fidmont, and Rochelle Farrell.
Woo!
That's where we met each other, 1986 when we recorded that. So when they put it on the air, they decided, well, it's a show about women, we gotta have a female singer. So that was Phoebe Snow. So that was the first version you heard where I'm jumping double dutch in the opening credits. That's
Yeah.
Phoebe Snow. Then they were going to re-record it every year and put a new spin on it. So the next season was Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Well, once Riri sang it, they
Yeah.
said, okay, we don't have to
Nobody
do
else
this
can
again.
do it.
But then the very last season, they had Boyz II Men come in and do it.
I think I forgot that. That's right. I totally forgot that.
So there you go.
Oh man, Different World. The Different World was such an iconic show. Now, did you know the impact that A Different World had on black kids wanting to go to college? They never thought they would actually go to college, but looked at this show and it's like, that's something I want to do. Did you know the impact?
By the end of the first season, the phenomenon was a bit overwhelming because for us as actors, we just went to work.
Right.
You know, we put the scripts in front of us and we did our lines and we showed up and we were glad to work with good people and, you know, ultimately end up doing a really great project and piece of work. But then when you find out that beyond the entertainment value, it's actually impacting lives, that becomes a whole other reality and in a sense of truth and a quickening of your spirit. It's like, okay, this is not just laughs, y'all. People are making decisions based on what they see us do.
Exactly.
So then it becomes with a whole other responsibility, which is why the show went in a different direction from season 2 on to season 6. So, and still today, there are schools across the country that use our theme song as a recruiting tool.
Wow.
The students reshoot it using students and settings from their campus
that's cool.
to the theme song to encourage people to go to their school. How cool is that?
That is really cool.
That's very
That is really cool.
That's very cool. And seriously, if they weren't paying back student loans, I would make them send me money, but I haven't done that.
You actually recorded yourself for like an ESPN
I
sort of thing,
did.
right?
The ESPN. Did anybody see that? The show The Six with Jamel Hill and Michael Smith. They recreated our opening credits with all of the news anchors and the sports anchors and the weather. Hannah Storm was in it. It was phenomenal with myself, Sinbad, Glenn Turman, and Daryl Bell, the original characters, and everybody else was filled in by their personnel. It was really very cool.
Awesome. What's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode,
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know if
mine.
you can guess. Want to tell me yours first?
Mine contained the line, "Don't you sing back up? Well then back up." Is that yours?
It's the same one. It's just thinking.
Thinking.
It's a little thing, but a big thing.
It was the Gladys Knight.
That's us, Miss Stuffy, Stiff, and Frumpy.
Right.
The Gladys Knight episode where I got to be a pip. That was the best.
That was the best. It was her and Whitley's character and another girl who were going to audition for backup singers for Gladys Knight. And the other girl was like really stiff. She rehearsed with them and everything was all like,
I've really got to use my imagination.
Right? Keeping on.
It's just keeping.
Just keeping. It's just a little thing, just a big thing.
But little bit. He said, there's no such word as keeping. There is in this song.
Yeah. And then at the audition, she turned it around and she got all like Whitney Houston on them. And you guys were looking like, where did this girl come? This chick.
We were rehearsing and she just took over the lead. And we had, does anybody remember that episode?
If you don't, go back and Google it. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. With all these shows on TV right now, Will and Grace getting a reboot, and
Yes.
you've got Roseanne coming back, and
Yes.
you've got all these shows. What are the chances of doing a Cosby spinoff to A Different World and being like Hillman? Just
You know,
Hillman.
we
You could be a
don't-
professor,
we don't
new cast.
own that. We don't own that. That's between the Cartier Warner team and Mr. Cosby to decide if they want
So
to
he's
do that.
copyrighted Hillman? 'Cause I see a lot of Hillmans.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah?
Because it's a part of that show. And if any of us were to do it, and if my name was Jamaica instead of Jalisa or Jalessa, it's like
Right.
there would be consequences.
problems.
But it's so funny though that you should mention that because recently I got calls from Mark Curry and Holly Robinson asking, it's like, Dawnn, don't you want to go back and do Hanging with Mr. Cooper with us again? Come on, let's go and
Yeah.
do that. So, you know, who knows?
Yeah?
Who knows?
Get Raven up in there? Be like a whole
Raven?
grown-up in it?
Who knows?
Absolutely.
Three grown people living under one roof. Can't one of us pay the rent. That's a shame. That's a shame.
That sounds like real life for a lot of families these days.
That's a shame.
I think
Not
that's a
one
hit.
of us can pay the rent.
I think that's a hit. Moving to the forward now. You're
Yes.
on a show, or you were on a show right now called Major Crimes.
Major Crimes,
which is
right.
one of the TNT's biggest rated shows. But
Yes.
it just abruptly got canceled. Do you know why? Can you give us a reason why?
I didn't know. But if any of you were fans of the show The Closer, for 7 years was The Closer, pretty much the same cast, and then it got morphed into the new series Major Crimes, which has now been on for 6 years. So total for most of those characters, it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
And I have absolutely no idea why TNT decided not to renew it. The millions of fans around the world are up in arms. I went in for what was supposed to have been one episode where my granddaughter murders somebody. Has anybody ever seen this show? My granddaughter murders someone, and there's a grouchy detective called Provenza, little old white hair, just curmudgeon. So he's the detective that's trying to get me to dime on my granddaughter. So we're sitting there, all of my scenes are with him, and by the end of the shoot, they're like, what did you do to him? I said, what do you mean what I do? They said, he's nice when you're around. You need to come back. So here it is, the next episode, they put us out on a date. The next after that, we're going away for a weekend. The next after that, I'm moving into his apartment. And the next after that, we got married. So 4 seasons later, I am Mrs. Provenza. I've been Mrs. Provenza now for the last 2 seasons. So online, his name is Provenza, my name is Patrice, so we are Patrenza.
Nice, nice. What do you attribute? Like you've done this show,
Yes.
and maybe people didn't know, but you've done like over what 200 shows and voiceovers
Yes.
and all that. What do
Yes.
you contribute or attribute your longevity in this business to?
Variety.
Yeah.
Being able to do different things, because when one thing is slow, you do something else. I do live theater often on Broadway. I just did a show this past weekend. And I do, like you said, animation. I do voices for about 8 or 9 different series. Now, if any of you have kids, watch Doc McStuffins. I'm the voice of Granny McStuffins. If any of you, thank you. If you were any Futurama fans, I was the Barbara on Futurama. Right now, they're doing a reboot of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I play the voice of the Chief. The movie Monsters University, I did voices for that. And what was the last one? Inside Out. Inside Out, that won an Oscar. If you saw that movie, where the little girl moves to the new city and she starts a school and the teacher's really nice to her. I'm the really nice teacher. So,
Variety. She keeps
apple
working.
and onion, just bizarre stuff. I do all kinds of things. And I still write music for different projects and produce TV projects. Created and sold a TV series to ABC a few years ago, working on selling my next one. And
So you just doing things.
I said, you got to,
You
because if
gotta
not,
do
I'd be a
things.
drug addict. I'd be an alcoholic.
Right.
Because no, serious business can make you crazy.
It can.
So the fact that I have a variety of things, God just keeps blessing me with one
Yeah.
opportunity after the next. And so I'm grateful to just stay ready and prepared and keep moving into the next thing.
What do you prefer, a Broadway or a long-running TV series?
You know, the long-running TV series with residuals have... The Broadway show, I love live performance, but 8 shows a week is no joke.
Oh, I did it. I know.
8 shows a week is no joke, and people think, oh, I'm just going to see a show. It's like, well, that may be your first time seeing it, but it's actually our 100th episode, our 100th performance. Like I originated the role of Deloris Van Cartier in Sister Act, the Broadway musical.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know that.
there you go.
Yes.
And yeah, on that show, there were 18 musical numbers. I sang 14 of them.
Oh, wow.
There was 10 minutes out of of the 2 hours and 50 minutes where I was not on stage.
And 8 shows.
8 shows a week is no joke, but you love it.
I love it. When I was doing it, my whole thing and with most of the cast was like, I'm trying not to call out. It's like, for me, I don't want to call out ever. I'm sick
Call
tonight.
out sick?
Yeah.
Don't let the understudy go on and be better than you. Holla, kill her.
That's what I'm saying. You do not want to call out and have someone waiting to take your place.
Yes.
You know?
It's just like one of those old movies, all about Eve. And they're trying on your wardrobe and stuff. It really does look better on me.
They got the marbles on the stairs waiting for you to
Waiting for you to fall.
Exactly. The cast members of Different World, you still keep in contact with them?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I see Sinbad all the time, Glenn Turman all the time, God rest his soul, Lou Myers when he was alive. He played Mr. Gaines. I saw him all the time. Darryl Bell and I play golf in the same tournaments from time to time. Cree Summer, who also does a lot of voiceover work. Sometimes we work together, or we just see each other at different animation, events or auditions and things. Jasmine lives on the East Coast. Charnel lives down in Texas. Kadeem is doing his Disney stuff.
I saw that the other night by mistake. It was a Casey.
By mistake? Ooh.
No, not like a bad thing. I was up at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
You just said I would never watch that on purpose. It was a mistake.
No.
That's what I heard.
No, that's not what I said.
Am I the only one who heard that?
Yes.
That's what I thought I heard. I thought
Such
I heard
negativity,
that.
Dawnn.
No, it's not negativity. I'm just being accurate.
No. What I meant was I was up like 3 o'clock in the morning or so, and I was turning the channels, and I saw his face. And I was like, oh, what is Dwayne Wayne doing on TV? And it was the KC Undercover thing. I watched 3 episodes, so it wasn't by mistake, because I stayed and watched 3 of the episodes
Because you
before I
felt
went to bed.
guilty at that point. Because I may have him on my show, and I got to tell him I saw it.
Right.
I say,
That was my next question. Can you call him and ask him to come on my show?
no.
Okay. We've had some fun here. We're going to play a game because we always play games, everybody. Are you down for a game?
I'm down for a game, but I want to talk about something else I'm doing now.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because I have it written right here and I went right past it. Because we were talking about how it was a mistake and that made me not think about it, but it's written right here, see? But yes, please tell us about the program you're doing now.
The program I'm doing, in addition to all the work I do that, entertains, it became very important to me many years ago when I first got on this journey. When you talk about your celebrity affecting people or the show affecting people, it was important to me to use that to be a blessing to someone else and not just myself. So I started a foundation called the A New Day Foundation, which is basically a play on my name, Dawnn, A New Day. But the premise of the foundation is to create opportunities and support for people to basically get a fresh start, a new start, to not be where you were yesterday, to say, okay, yesterday was yesterday. I have a nice chance to make a difference in my life starting today. So I'm going to consider today a new day. The next project that we are doing, I am hosting a day-long conference on the campus of USC in May 2018 for low to moderate income students, college students and college-bound high school students. And we're going to spend the day giving them tools of financial and technological literacy to empower them about this is how you can afford to go to college, this is how you finish college, this is how you change your life economically for the better. And this is how you incorporate technology into everything you are studying, because that's the way of the world. And if you don't realize or adjust your thinking to think of your cell phone or the internet as more than just a toy or for entertainment, you really got to understand coding, programming, all those kinds of things that are viable tools, even in forming businesses and entrepreneurship. So that's what we want to do for those kids, and for the high school students, we're also inviting their parents and their guardians. So while we're working with the kids, we have a team that works with the parents. So when that family goes home, everybody has the same information to say, okay, you know what? You don't go home all excited, Mom, this is how I can go to college. And your mother say, no, baby, we can't afford it. I don't care what those nice people said. But now the whole family is informed, and they can say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what you're going to do, and together we're going to make this happen together, which will change not only that child's life, but that family's life. Yeah. So please support the A New Day Foundation. We have a Facebook page, and everybody says, well, I want to give. I may only have like $5 or $10. Every little bit helps, because it makes it possible for us to feed the families. We're going to be providing foods, notebooks, all those kinds of things. So on the Facebook page, there's a donate button for PayPal. So we'd appreciate it if you like the page. But if you like it, please take another moment or two to donate $1, $5, whatever you can afford, because every bit helps.
Yeah.
I would argue that's why you're still around, because you still have a purpose. The fact that you're using your celebrity and your knowledge to help other people come up and do things, God keeps you working because He needs you.
Amen.
He needs you
Thank
to be able to
you.
do the work that you're doing. So
Thank you so
congratulations.
much.
Yeah.